Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Speed Talk podcast. We got a second time appearance from TM3 tonight. Troy Morris the third. Welcome back, man. Welcome to Speed Talk. How are you doing?
What's up, guys? I'm glad to be back. I'm doing fantastic. Getting a little cold. West Coast kid ain't used to this stuff, but
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got snow? Got snow in Waterloo?
Not yet. It's supposed to come this weekend, but there's a big storm outside right now. It's windy and it's spitting ice, so it's gonna get nasty here soon.
Oh, well, it's that time of year.
It's that time of
Yeah.
year.
Thank God the next race is inside a building.
Yep, right.
Yeah.
So since we last had you on, Troy, you can finally break the big news from then. Racing the laser chassis, super late model deal. Just take us through a little bit about, your 25 season racing a late model. How was that for you?
So yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. I mean, obviously, a late model has always been kind of a dream of mine. Everybody wants to race a late model, and we just never really had the right opportunity, and couldn't. It's kind of a long story. It's hard. Late models are expensive. you know, uh, and I wish I could have talked about this last time, but literally last time we talked, I was in the process of handling everything, so I couldn't really talk about it yet. I couldn't even talk about it till like late April or something like that. So it's just you know, it's kind of just crazy how it all worked out. It's a long story, but I'm super grateful to be able to drive this laser chassis. I don't regret any decisions I've made. These laser cars are absolutely beautiful. Everybody's always like, "Oh, why didn't you get a Longhorn? Why didn't you get a Rocket?" And it's just like, if you saw these things, I mean, you would understand. They're just absolutely beautiful race cars. But the 25 season, I only got to run late model route. I think I ran 6 features this year, and it didn't finish outside the top 10. I finished inside the top 5 a couple times. It's definitely a learning curve, though. A lot of power, you know what I mean? Just a bigger car. And like my modified, when it hikes up, it feels like it buries on the right front, and the left rear is all high up in the air, and you can hold it up with the brake floater. And then this thing, it goes out there, and you're just kind of cruising along. It turns when you want it to. I mean, it just does whatever you want it to. It's like driving a buttery dream. So I just kind of got used to not having, to fight the car. Like the first time I went out there, I drove through the infield basically because I turned too soon. You know what I mean? It was some big half-mile track in Pennsylvania, and I turned into turn one, and it goes yeah all the way to the left, and so it's it's been a learning curve. We plan on doing some testing before the season starts next year. It's going to be my main priority. I'm going to try to run as many nights in it as I can, but yeah, the 25 year was crazy, man. If I could sum it up, I mean, I think one word would be challenging. This year has just been not my year. Last year at this time I had 14 wins, I think, and this year I've got 5. So it's just been a rough go of things, that's for sure.
Rough go of things. Still got 5 wins. That's
I was
pretty
gonna
damn
say,
good.
I'll take that.
Let me clarify. I should clarify. I mean, I got 4 wins within the first month of the year. I mean, it was a great start. January, Arizona, Marshalltown, and it was the big race at Marshalltown, the Frostbuster or whatever. Like, dude, I'm hyped. Great car. Car's fantastic. I'm feeling confident. And then I wiped the car out the next night at Boone. I get in some altercations. It's just a racing deal, nobody's fault. And haven't didn't win since then. That was April, and then my last one was in October. So I went on a 6 month dry spell of just
Wow.
nothing but yeah. I mean, and then we just took that car to the chassis builder and found out it was all twisted up after the wreck. So that's
Oh
that's
no.
kind of why we just struggled. I mean, even when I thought I had a decent car, I'd blow a motor or I flipped once. I mean, it's just stupid stuff, man. Like the stuff you would never think: spit a driveline, spit a yoke, break a tranny. I mean, just the weirdest crap. I had on the late model, I had a tire come off. Like it's just the most random crap you've
Weird.
ever. Yeah. So I think this year was cursed, man. It was just it was a year to learn and just be humbled, honestly, because I went into this year with a bunch of confidence and. I mean, confidence is a good thing, but make sure that confidence doesn't turn into arrogance, and that's for sure what this
Right,
year
right.
did.
Right. I was gonna ask you, Troy sandwiches. You guys been at it, since we last with you. Just how are things going in Waterloo as far as the business side of things? Making sandwiches. I see you got pastas at night now. Just how are things over there?
It's fun, dude. I mean, it's totally different because we never had anything in the restaurant industry other than a little food trailer before that was only open for a couple months. But it's kind of different. I mean, with the sign company, customer service is a big aspect, but it's not nearly as much of an aspect as it is in the restaurant. So you got to deal with customers, and we're as nice as we can be to people, and some people just don't like it still. So you got to deal with the Karens every now and then. But other than that, it's going it's going good. I mean,
You forgot to toast my sandwich. You put too many pickles on it.
Oh my gosh!
Well, refund.
So like we have
eat half of it.
That's exactly what it is. People will literally clean the plate and be like, "I didn't enjoy that." I'm like,
I want it for free.
"Yeah, you do."
Well, the mustard on your shirt says different.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because like we have bags of chips as an option for a side, and when you order to go, you order at the counter, and you're ordering at a host or just a counter. So the chick she takes your order and she bags it up and gives it to you. And when she gives it to you, she's like, "All the chips are right here on the shelf. Select what you'd like, and have at it, enjoy." So they leave and they forget their chips. So they get online on the Google or Yelp or Facebook or something. Hey, I forgot my chips. It's like, well, actually,
You forgot them.
you forgot it. It's just little stuff like that. But the food's great. The reviews are great. Other than like I said, a couple Karens. But it's fun. It's definitely fun.
Awesome. Oh, that's a good deal. But
what's the best sandwich in your opinion, Troy? Like what's the go?
Oh, there's Dad.
There's Dad. Yeah, there's Troy Jr. Yeah, the best sandwich in my opinion. That's hard, man. I think the Philly is my favorite. I mean, we got a it's our number one seller. We got a really, really good Philly, and then we got a really good chicken bacon ranch too. There's little brother. Everybody just got home from dinner. We got a chicken bacon ranch too. That's really good. I mean, dude, I'm gonna hype it up real quick. Our freaking bread is made fresh every day. It's big old loaves, and all our meat's hand sliced every day. Cheese, veggies, everything's fresh every morning. So it's like people come in expecting Subway, and they leave with Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah. How would you sum up your business? Well, it's like Subway, but if Gordon Ramsay's at Gordon Ramsay's quality.
Exactly. Yeah. It's gourmet, awesome. Dude. Not really, but it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Are you getting your stuff ready for Gateway? How's that all shaking out? You getting excited for that event next week?
I'm like restlessly excited, dude. I can't wait. Like I get to go this year with like a little bit of experience under my belt because we went last year, and last year I had no idea what to expect. And this year I'm going with a car that's handling a lot better than it did last year. And, I've got more seat time with a bigger motor, and I just kind of have more of an idea of what to expect. And so this car is going to be wicked quick out of the gate, and I know that, which is going to be nice. Last year I showed up and I hadn't driven that car in a couple months, and I'd never driven it on those tires or with that motor, so I was kind of just out to lunch. But right now, body's almost done, just waiting on some wrap stuff to finish up. I had to end up printing it in California, so it's on its way. And then I was working on motor swaps today, putting the big motor back in. I kind of forgot how to do it all, so I'm learning again. But, I had to take the crate out and put the big motor in and put the oil cooler in and put the rear-mounted bell housing and all that crap on stuff I get to run once a year. But luckily, we're going to keep it in the car, and I plan on running some USRA stuff next year, so I might get a couple.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What do you load up for spare parts for an event like this? I mean, is it like a typical race, or are you loading up 2 times?
Everything.
No, I loaded up for a typical race last time and learned the hard way. So you bring a lot of spoilers, a lot of breakaway pieces. Every time I pull it on the track last year, I literally snapped off the right rear deck piece, the spoiler and the deck bar. So we got extra ones of those. We got like 5 of those things, and then you bring some right front lowers. You bring a lot of wheels. Make sure you put a bead lock on the right side. I put bead locks on the inner lefts if those existed. I don't want to make one. I don't know how they did that last year. But you bring center links, a couple right front shocks, and then you just send it.
Send it. What about the left rear load chain? Did we beef that up this year?
Did we beef that up? What? No. Hey, he has a good point, Dad. We need to beef up the left rear chain this year.
You got a cowboy in that motherfucker.
You reminded me. Well, you know what's funny? Because last year we went and the car was all wheelied up and like on 3 wheels the entire time. Like the left front never sat down. Well, we got the balance of the car a little better now, so it still wheelies a little bit, but nothing like last year. So the load chain won't be up under so much pressure. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So now,
thanks for the reminder, dude.
Are you in the VC? Or are you going to be in the Performer for this show?
No, I'll be in the VC. The Performer, I just got it back. That was the car that was twisted up, and it's sitting on an open trailer right now. I haven't even unloaded it yet. I just got it the other day. So.
I saw your video of you doing the Days of Thunder with
it. yeah. Well, it was cold and rainy, and my dad actually went and got it. He was like, "Well, I'm gonna go get it today." I was like, "Okay." So when he got back, it was just sitting on the trailer, and that's everybody's favorite racing movie, So I was like, "I got to while I'm here." Yeah. And
I gotta ask, what's the deal with the NOS energy drink videos? Because I was following up on that. Give us the story there.
Well, so I've always loved NOS. And back when I used to race micros and midgets, they really started sponsoring sprint cars and midgets big time, like 2018, 2019. And I absolutely fell in love with the colors. And I was a big fan of Tyler Courtney. He's my favorite, and Sheldon Haudashield's car always looks super cool. So I was like, they only got one late model and they have 0 modifieds, So I was like, dude, I can expand their horizons. Like, you'd be surprised how many people at the dirt track, mod track, have never even heard of NOS. They've seen it, but they've never tried it. They've never bought one, So I was like, you know what? I feel like it's an untapped market. So I was like, the only way, to get their attention, because everybody can send an email. I was like, I got to do something different, because they might not even see my email. It'll go to the spam folder or whatever. So I told my dad one day, I was like, I'm going to start making TikTok videos and I'm going to do dumb stuff with NOS cans. You know what I mean? He's like, what do you mean you're going to do dumb stuff with NOS cans? I was like, I just have ideas. And so I started, every time I think of something, I put it in my notes in my phone, So like the first one's me pouring it in the funnel down the back of the late model, and then I'm washing my fire suits with it and, stuff like that.
Did you put it on some tires?
Yeah, I did put it on some tires. I rolled it on tires,
Does not conform to the benchmark.
No, I don't. I'm not gonna lie. I let that tire sit, and I went to lunch or something. I come back and it was freaking sticky. So I know it's probably just a sugar, but who knows? Maybe I was onto something. But no, I made like 12 videos, and after video 9, I think it was, I got a DM from NOS, and they basically told me, they're like, "Our roster's full, but we really appreciate you reaching out and or not reaching out, but your loyalty to the brand." And I was like, "Okay, I'm done." And so I told my mom. My mom was like, "You're not done." I was like, "What do you mean?" She goes, "That didn't mean no." I was like,
yeah,
all right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, I was like, okay, you know what? We'll try it anyway. And so I made a couple more videos, and those couple of videos popped off, 10,000 views here, 11,000 views there. And which for me is pretty good, And I went and looked at NOS's account, and all their videos are getting like 500 to 1,500 views. And I'm like, okay, but I'm doing better than the NOS videos. And then I don't even know if it was just per chance or what, but as soon as I started making NOS videos, like Sheldon Haudashield started making NOS videos, and they started doing stuff like, he just did that challenge where you throw the cup at the face and you guess which flavor it is, and like, just dumb stuff like that. I was like, maybe if NOS got into their guys, like, hey, look, this kid ain't even getting nothing, and he's putting out more content than you do. I made a couple more videos, and then they sent another email, and they basically were like, we're not going to pursue this any further, because I really focused on just getting them on at the Dome at least. You know what I mean? Because everybody does a special route for the Dome, and it's the biggest broadcasted race of the year, gets the most views, whatever. And they weren't interested. So hopefully this year I can go and, I have a plan. I have a bunch of NOS left over from, I bought cases of it. And so I'm going to have a bunch of t-shirts for sale, and I'll tell everybody that comes and buys t-shirts, the first 30 or 40 t-shirts that I sell, or whatever, be like, here's a can of NOS, but you have to take a picture and tag NOS and me in your story or something. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Really
just because it's like, who knows? If I get enough the Dome, maybe they'll be like, you know what, this kid, who knows? So
Right.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just say he's putting in the effort,
Yeah,
this kid's putting in the effort.
And then I think because I got 100, 120 Snapchat stories of people tagging me, be like, dude, I've never tried this before. I'm getting it because you were like hashtag Team NOS07, blah, blah, blah. So I had a bunch of people that went out and bought a NOS that I never even tried it before. And I just wish they could have seen all that. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I'd be the guy that shows up with it. I'd have that little NOS can outside my trailer, come by, I'd take them and I'd freaking pour it on my helmet in Victory Lane. I'd do everything.
Yeah. I saw the one of you rolling it on your tires, and I just commented, and I was like, TM3 equals dog emoji with the salute, and I tagged NOS Energy in it. I'm like, come on, just TM3 equals dog. Would have got some sort of response from him, but
they liked one of my TikTok videos. They liked the one where I did it, where it was the texting thing, and I slapped the visor down and was like, what are you doing? And I said, better not be making another NOS video, And that was funny. Like, people were telling me how funny that was, and the NOS liked it. I was like, okay, maybe we're onto something. And then some dude on NOS or one of the NOS guys commented on my Instagram, because I was starting to post them on Instagram and Facebook too. And they said, keep them coming, with like the bull snort emoji, I was like, okay, dude, I got their attention,
Nice.
And then like, a couple of days later, I got the DM. I was like, oh, well, never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, news. Maybe I'll reach the right person within, marketing or someone internally that's like, hey, check this guy out, and then, just because they say, we're not going to pursue this right now, you keep pursuing on your end. They might go, hey, let's give this kid a shot. And now all of a sudden you're onto something, and they're like, hey, how can we support you and see where it goes? That'd be pretty cool. That's a big brand. Like, look at what I get a kick out of Nick Hoffman when he wins and he slugs his NOS, and he's always wearing his NOS hat. It's just like, It's a cool brand. Like, it's an energy drink based around motorsports. Like, it's cool. Like, it's just a cool brand. So
those colors are badass too.
Dude, I agree. And then it's like, Justin Grant, I don't know if you guys follow sprint car stuff much, but every time he wins, he leaves his helmet on when he does his cage stand and he smashes it and it explodes everywhere. And like Sheldon Haudenschild dumps it out over the top wing and stuff, you know? So it's like, there's so many cool things you could do with it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of where the videos came from, as I saw people doing that. I was like, the only, like, I'd watch videos on Instagram, but people would be like, day 37 of destroying a Red Bull every day till Red Bull comments. You know what I mean? And it's just, and then finally Red Bull will say something like, don't stop or whatever, just like not say. And like, dude, I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to get NOS on the side of their freaking late model, you know? But like you said, if I just keep trying, who knows? And then if I do well enough at like the dome, maybe they'll see all the views and get excited.
I was gonna say, all you got to do is win the dome and call them out right when you win the Saturday Night Show.
Right. Or just bring one with me down to Victory Lane and do it anyway. You know, that really get their attention. But
I always get a kick out of the Red Bull videos where it's like, other brands, try my drink, Red Bull. Let's drop a guy from the moon. And it's
you know what would be a good idea? Have an empty. Do you run a Super Bowl carb where you gotta fill the full bowls?
I do.
So you could take some race gas. I don't know if you're on methanol or gas, but you could put some in a little can, you know, and then dump it down the full bowls, and then get a video of it crack like starting. It looks like NOS. That'd be a good one.
That's why I did it in the fuel tank right away, because their main slogan is human horsepower. And I was like, human horsepower? What about real horsepower? You know what I mean? And I made it look super real, like you couldn't tell, you know? So people were texting me like, did you actually pour that in? Did you have to pump your fuel cell? I was like, I ain't that dumb.
I'm going through all that.
So
that would suck.
You're talking about stickers on the car. Big news. We're kind of partnering up a little bit with you for Gateway this year. Kind of excited about that. We're gonna have a sticker on the race car. Kind of exciting news.
Yeah, that'll be cool, dude. I saw the proof because, you know, we lay it out on the car and everything before we set it up to print, and it's giant, like huge, all the way across the back deck. It goes from spoiler to where the roof starts. You know, like it's awesome.
When you texted me and you're like, my dad's like, you can have the hood. I'm like, no. Put us on the back.
I know. I told him that. I was like, I don't think they'll want the hood. And he's like, well, just see anyway, because, you know, the hood, it can get in some pictures and stuff, you know, but they're like, no, I said they want it big.
It's funny because it was actually my dad's idea, because he saw your roof post. He's like, shit, $500, we can all chip in and we can have Troy's roof. And I'm like, okay, I'll message him. And then your roof was already gone. And when you said the back deck thing, I'm like, well, the back deck's actually bigger if you think about it.
No, it is. And the deck on my car gets a lot of attention because it gets crushed. So everybody's going to be looking, you know? Yeah. Dude, as long as we don't pull a Jake O'Neill, I don't know if you saw his car last year, but he hit the cushion in qualifying and his car exploded. Like all the deck and sail panels and everything came off. I don't know. I don't even know how. He must have been using some Chinese rivets or something, dude, because that thing just exploded. I don't even know.
That's when you pull off and your crew guy just looks at you and is like, yeah, let's start drinking.
Well, it's funny because my crew guy is my dad, and I'll come in, and when he's sitting there like this, I'm like, uh-oh. Yeah, I was like, well, that hurt.
We got some work to do.
What was the anticipation like waiting for that invite?
Gosh.
It took forever.
Yeah, I was petrified because, well, I mean, after last year, I was in the last group last year. I was like the 7th car out of 8 of the last group last year. And I know that Cody really cares about the promoter. He really cares about like the show aspect, like the entertainment factor. And the fact that videos got views and the cars jumping around through the holes and ripping the fence. And, you know, I feel like I got a lot of attention right around that time, you know, a couple million views on TikTok and Facebook, blah, blah, blah. So I thought that's what I'd be looking for. So I figured I'd be in the first 3 groups of invites this year, you know? And so group 3 comes, I'm like, okay, maybe group 4, and then group 4 comes, and I'm like, all right, you know, has to be group 5, right? Well, then 5, 6, 7, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this might not happen, you know. And people are starting to put on my story where you can like mention stuff, you know, or do the anonymous messages. They're like, when are you going to realize that you're never getting invited back? And I was like, oh great, people are already starting, you know. And so then I'm sitting in the this is totally funny, I'm only saying it because of how funny it is. I'm sitting in the bathroom across the restaurant, you know, on my phone, and I open Facebook because I was checking it every Wednesday and Sunday because that's when they post them. And I'm like, oh dang it, I'm not there, and I'm the last car on the list, so I got to it last. You know what I mean? And I scream loud enough to where my parents run, and they're like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I'm freaking on the list, dude!" You know, I was scared. I mean, to be the 64th car out of 64. I mean, well, technically Mannix got that 65th, but Kenny's not going, so he'll still make it, blah, 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 whatever. But the last car in the last round of invites was just sketchy. And then the fact that, like, Ricky Thornton was right above me, I was like, what is going on, dude?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Best for last.
It was scary. Yeah, right. Hopefully, gosh dang.
We'll put
What's
on a
the
show.
process
Yeah,
with that?
we're excited to watch. Put on a drive the shit out of that thing.
Well, I wouldn't
Giddy
go
up
if
on
I didn't
that.
plan on it. Yeah, exactly.
If you can't win the show, be the show.
Be the
You know what?
show. Yeah.
You're gonna replace all them body panels all
Mhm.
off season anyway. So rip them
Right.
all out of the race car if you have to.
I know. You know what's funny is I've been thinking about it. Everybody's telling me to rip the fence, and I love running the top. And last year I beat the bumper off of it on the wall, and I was thinking back to I was thinking too this year. I was like, what if I got there and win the thing on the bottom? Like everybody'd be so disappointed.
Yeah.
Just
Nice and
cruising.
slow.
No
Yeah.
scratches. Yeah, the only wall I would hit would
Sets
be the
quick
infield
time,
wall.
starts on the pole of his heat, wins
Yeah.
his prelim, and just leads every lap right on the bottom.
So my buddy Trevor Neville did that last year, right? The 777. He went out.
He's
He was the
fast.
last car in qualifying. Well, he was the last car on the racetrack in qualifying, and everybody's ripping the fence, and he goes out and rolls the bottom and goes quick time by like 2/10 or something. I'm like, oh my gosh! And he was on Friday, so I got to watch all night because I was on Thursday. And then it rolls out in the heat race and leads every lap on the bottom, and then rolls out in the feature and leads almost every lap on the bottom. He'd jump up to the top in lappers and stuff like that, and he didn't have a scratch on the car, and he was pitted directly next to me, and I was like, nice, dude. And then he goes out for qualifier hot laps on Saturday and knocks the deck out of it. He didn't even touch the wall during the whole race, and then he wins the freaking thing without a scratch on it again. And I come in and I was like, because he was just telling me about how you bring a spare nose, you bring a this, because he was pitted right next to me and he unloaded. I was like, dang, you got a lot of stuff. He's like, you got to have a lot of stuff. And then he didn't put a scratch on the car. It was hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, that's like best case scenario. Go down there and not scratch anything or get in a altercation on the track with someone. It's like, what are the
Right.
chances of that in that little bull ring? But
I know, but I know me and Trevor are buddies, so I can say this, but how boring, dude. You should have made it exciting.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for some guy some year to go down there and have a full out like the go-karts you race where they got the guards all the way around your wheel. Just have a big giant Nerf bar all the way around the car. Connect the front bumper, rear bumper, a little roller skates on the right rear, and just lean on the wall.
I was
your
just going to say that, dude. After the Chastain thing, when he did that at Martinsville, I wanted to put casters down the right side so I could just
Wouldn't that be something like
Yeah.
just to roll out and be like, what does he got going on with his car? And you just got a full out cage around the whole
Yep.
perimeter. of your
Dude, it
car.
looked like those. I don't know if you've seen those, but they're like those little buggy sprint things in Australia, and they have a full guardrail around them. They just beat
Oh,
the crap
yeah.
out of each other. That's
Yeah.
what you'd
Be
have to show
entertaining.
up with, Yeah, I
Yeah.
think if it was possible. I mean, the front tires move a lot, so I don't even know. You'd have to do those weird round. You'd have to do loops on the bumper, and I don't even think it'd be legal, but it'd be funny. That's for sure.
Would
You'd be
just
hauling
show up
ass
and
into
just
turn one and just get stuffed in the fence.
Right.
Good roll.
Right.
Do they
And then
tech
that
down there?
bar bends, and no. I
They
mean,
don't?
well, okay, let me rephrase that. I didn't make tech last year, so they didn't tech me, but they tech but it's hard because they put so many sanctions together for this race. So body rules, you can only go so far. So they check like nose heights, and they have a special left rear tire pressure, minimum 10 pounds, and spoiler height and stuff that they'll check. But I was nervous because IMCA car is nowhere near a UMP body. So last year I texted Ricky Thornton. I was like, hey, dude, how much do they tech? Because I don't want to change all this. You know what I mean? He's like, just show up. I was like, all right. Yeah, so that made it easy on me.
Is it just late models that are on specific tires this year, or is it mods too?
No, mods are on. Well, you can run the M30 Hoosier, or you can run the same exact brand or same exact tread pattern on the American Racer. So they let you have
Okay.
both choices this year. But
What are you running
Yeah.
on? Hoosier?
Hoosiers,
Yeah.
yeah, Hoosiers. You forgot to order tires? No, we got to order tires. I don't know if I'll get them in time. But nobody around here sells them because they're in a different district because it's more Illinois area.
Yeah.
So I got to get them shipped in. Luckily Hoosiers only a state away.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So now talking Gateway, just kind of take us through. I mean, a lot of people don't see the internals of the show. I mean, what goes into, your week there? I mean, you show up Tuesday, Wednesday. When do you show up? What goes in as far as, getting in the auditorium, getting on hook? Just what kind of goes into that whole weekend as far as being a competitor?
It's funny you say that because I went in completely lost last year, and so luckily I have a little bit better of understanding now. But I even planned this year and going around with meta glasses and kind of recording it so people can see because it's really unique. You show up on Tuesday because you got it. Well, I mean, you could show up early Wednesday morning, but I think we'll leave Tuesday and get down there. But Wednesday you spend the whole day parking and checking in because it takes the entire day to get all those rigs inside. You got to think it's 200 rigs at least that fit inside, And so you get in line in this big parking lot outside the dome, and they all give you a number. So section A, section B, section C, etc. and you put it in your window, and then you wait your turn, and when you pull in, you drive as far as you can, and then you can't pull a hauler into a spot, so you unhook right there, and they use a forklift. They park you in your spot, and then because it's a like a government building, basically, or union, I should say union, you can't touch the electrical. You can't even plug your trailer in. So they have this guy come around on a little golf cart, and he has all this different wiring cord extension adapters and everything, and he plugs you into power. And then some people unload Wednesday. Like I won't unload Wednesday. I just wait because I put my car away at night anyway. So I'll unload, or I'll park the trailer, get it set up, and then just kind of walk around. And you go to this big room in the. So it's kind of hard to explain, but there's the big building where all the stands and the racetrack is, and there's a little tunnel that goes under this underpass, and then there's the big building where all the trailers are, and then there's like a corridor that goes around where there's more trailers. Well, there's this entire like office conference. It's kind of almost like theater rooms. There's big giant rooms where you can have different events, like you can rent them out and stuff like that. And then one of those bigger rooms, they have a stage set up where the drivers' meeting is and a bunch of chairs. And then the room next to that, you walk in and there's a desk here and a desk here and a desk there, and one's pit passes and one's seating arrangements and one's check-in. So you go in and do all that, blah, 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 get your passes, get your seating arrangements. And then honestly, you just walk around and kind of look at it, especially last year because it was the first year I walked right to the racetrack. You know what I mean? Just went and looked, and dude, before anybody touches it, all the walls are still perfectly white. Everything's brand new. All the banners are shiny and the lights are on. They leave everything on. So when you go in there, it's just like, you know what I mean? You're just looking around. Then when you get to racing, you pull outside. So there's this little staging lane where you can run your car for like 5 seconds because you're indoors, so you really can't. Then you pull outside, and there's this big giant covered parking area where you fill up. You have 5-gallon jugs in a container because you're not allowed to bring fuel inside because of fire hazard, obviously. So you pull over. My dad rides his little scooter because you can bring electric scooters and stuff, and dump 10 gallons or whatever into the back of the car, and then you keep driving. You go outside, so then if it's snowing or whatever, you get snowed on. It's pretty cool. Then it's cold. You can, if your shield's open, the air hits you. Then you turn into the building, and it's a giant roll-up door, and the security guards pulling you through. And now there's dirt everywhere. It was so clean at the beginning of the week. Now there's dirt everywhere, and then you pull in. And the way they have it set up is the track sits like this, but you pull it over here. Well, the entrance of the track's over here, so you drive all the way around the track, and you sit and stage, and then your car gets absolutely covered. Like, I'll have to send it to you guys, but they made a meme out of it. It's like all your RC cars or all the project cars sitting under your shed waiting for their turn. It's me and my heat race lineup, just absolutely. You can't even see the colors of our cars anymore. And then when you pull on, it's almost like racing at Bristol because the entire stadium's around you. You can't tell where the front straightaway is. Like, the front straightaway to the back straightaway, you really don't know. And so when you pull on, you kind of have to look for the flag stand. And like Saturday, there's 35, 37, I think this year, 1,000 people are going to be in there. And so there's camera flashes and people waving, and you're trying to get locked in, but you're kind of just like I'm getting kind of like goosebumps thinking about it. Like it's the coolest thing ever, dude. And this year, I really hope to just make the show so I can do the driver intros and walk through the tunnel and do something dumb. I'm still trying to think of what I want to do. Like last year, I wanted to wear the Donald Trump mask, and if I made the top 6, if you made the top 6, I think it is, you get to pick a song, and I was going to do that Many Men by 50 Cent because that's all, you know what I mean? I was going to be sick or walk out like that, you know what I mean? It would have been hilarious. I was going to have a buddy that was going to show up, but I obviously we didn't get to do it. I was going to have him wear a Biden mask if you kick him down, just something cool. I just want the clicks, exactly. I want the crowd to go nuts because everybody loves it,
You should have him put on a Biden mask and like stunner him, like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like kick him, and
then tag a real Donald Trump, and you would probably see that and think,
dude.
wow, this guy.
Well, because if Fox News would probably repost that, that'd have been cool. Yeah.
CNN, racist child,
right.
White
radical right wing
slams
teenager,
Joe Biden,
radical right wing gathering of 38,000 people in downtown St. Louis.
Yep, a bunch of rednecks driving dirt cars.
Yeah.
It was great. I can't tell you how great it was. It was the best event. Nothing tops it. It's the best it could be.
Dude, if I get an interview, I need to do it. It's like, they built a wall, but I knocked down the wall. Oh, dude, that was great.
And Biden didn't want the wall, but we built it anyways, and Mexico's going to pay for it.
Yeah, and Mexico's going to pay for it. No, it's like, and Castro's going to pay for it because
it's a great impression.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's funny because that literally last year I almost flipped into I biked into the fence. So I literally tried to break down the wall, but I think ICE was there and they stopped me. So Oh, it's funny, dude.
So-
Maybe this year, if I wear a Trump mask and walk out to Ice Baby by Vanilla Ice.
There you
That'd be
go.
good.
There you go.
Oh, dude, that'd be
that would
crazy.
be great, dude. You'd get a
Yeah.
standing ovation at that show. That's for sure.
I think so too. Yeah.
Hey, switching sides. Big rules, IMCA. What are your thoughts on the big rule changes going into 26?
I'm excited. I mean, I've ran mods, IMCA mods. This was my 4th full season, right? So 4 years of chasing the same thing. You know, the cars haven't changed in 4 years, other than a little motor change here or there, which didn't make a big difference. You know, so I'm excited because the brake floater deal. My car. If you watch any videos of my car, it never sits down. Like it's, hey, close the door. it never sits down. Like, dude, the sucker is on the right front, barred up, no matter what. You know, I never let it fall. I'm a big trail breaker. Well, that hurt me once I got into the late model because there's no brake floater in the late model. So I think driving the mod next year without a brake floater is really going to help me in the late model. So I'll just get comfortable. And then droop rule, I mean, I'm all for change. You know, if you change the rules every year, I wouldn't care because then everybody's on an equal playing field. You're all chasing the same goal. You know, when you got the same guy that's dominating every week because he's got it figured out and the rules don't change. I mean, you know, it's my job to try to figure that out too, but the fact that it's changing, you know what I mean? That way all get to try something new. So, I mean, I'm not saying there's one guy that dominates, but there, you know, there are certain series where you see that where like one guy kills everybody, kind of like, I can't think of an example, but I think this is really just going to start fresh. And I'm not going to lie, all the freaking veterans of the sport are going to kill it next year because they all set their car down and don't use the brakes anyway because they're used to flatty patty, leaf spring, open motor, you know. So it, like one of my, I guess you could say almost mentor that I came out here and raced with before I moved here, Jeff Ike. He goes in the corner, sets it down, slides it, picks it up, and wins 20 races a year still, and he's 63 years old. So next year I called. So his son-in-law is Scotty Fitzpatrick, and he's the setup guy, shot guy, car builder, whatever. I called him when the rules came out. I was like, dude, are you excited for next year? He goes, dude, I'm so excited for next year. Nobody's going to touch us. You know what I mean? He says, I've been running this rule pack for 6 years. They ain't got nothing on me, you know? So it's going to be fun, though. I'm excited.
Because did they lock up your guys' cages too?
Yeah, so like it'll be like a sport mod or like a B mod. It'll just fall. I can't. So like, you know, mods, when we get on the starts, everybody's sparking up and we're all breaking. We're all gonna be sitting down. And I think I was talking to my buddy Cade the other day. I was like, dude, it's gonna change everything, even restarts, because we're all gonna push on the restart unless we get it. You know what I mean? Because the whole reason we bar up is so it turns when we get back to the gas. You know, so we're all gonna have to figure out how to like get it to go when we want it to go. And I think it's going to slow the pace for the race down in the slick, you know, because with the brake floater, drive it off in there, stab the brake, especially with the newer stuff that's coming out with the under brake floater, it just locks it up right in the slick and you chug off, you know. So now it's going to fall and it's going to want to slide and get all loosey-goosey on it. So I think it's going to bring the field closer together and just kind of not match, but the pace of the race is going to be different. And I'm just excited to see what it does. I might love it. I might hate it. Who knows?
Might make for better racing in the long run.
Feel like a hobby stock.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Next, but next they're gonna take away our steering quickener, so we're gonna be going like this and going.
I've never raced
Parker's
anything
used
with
to
quick
that.
steer. I know exactly how it works.
Well, I never drove a hobby, but I see the inboard cameras of my buddies, and they're going in. They need a Brody knob.
Dude,
doing
yes.
that.
Yeah.
I
I'm like,
drove
dude, that's
his.
some skill.
I drove his down in Beatrice. I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, at the end of a Wednesday night practice session before the spring nationals. I remember going into the corner and I like tried like kind of driving it in on the gas and I was just like, holy shit! I spun the thing out and I mean, I felt bad because like I came in and we were on prime wells at the time, right?
Yeah,
We're on this narrow little tire, and I remember coming in, and all I remember was seeing the red and white inner wall, and I'm like, oh my God, Parker lets me drive his race car once, I'm gonna hit the wall and rip his nose off. Luckily, I didn't get hit or anything. But
Yeah,
I don't know how
I
they
mean,
do it.
people underestimate the skills of those guys because I watch those videos and I'm like, I couldn't do it. Like, it'd take me a freaking month and a half to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like, and these guys are out there backing, like especially the guys in Iowa. I don't know how it is up around you guys, but these guys go in like to the top of Marshalltown and they back it into the cushion and throw sliders on each other. And I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy because I go in there and I turn this much, you know, and they're literally cranking it. And I I have mad respect to all those
You,
hockey stock
you see
guys.
the
Like,
orange stripe on you see the orange stripe on the MPI wheel go around twice.
yeah, yeah, it flashes you as it goes by. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally, dude. I'm so used to. I don't take like some people drive with one hand or whatever. I hold my hands like this, and they turn. And if I have to go too far this way, I'll let go with this hand and kind of turn it over. But it's rare you get that far. You know, if you get that far, you're spinning out. So
Yeah.
I always say
yeah.
like best practice, like if my left hand is crossing over center of my air cleaner, I'm steering too much. Like I'm too free. Like I try to stay like dead center and quarter turn or half a turn left. You know,
Right.
anytime I'm oversteering and I'm going past my air center of my air cleaner with my left hand, like I'm too free. Like that's like my gauge point, I guess I kind of go off of. It's like, I get what
No,
you mean.
that's
You steer left, like more centered or left, if anything, and the car kind of follows you. If you're counter steering too far right in the mod, like you're just junk. Like you're just gonna
yeah.
be sliding all over.
No, there's like a range I can just visualize, because I
Yeah.
hold my wheel with the Y down, so it's one up and then the Y down, so I
Okay.
don't because I used to put my thumbs on the Y. Well, then when my toe would get knocked out, my steering wheel would change. Well, I couldn't readjust my hands because I was too comfortable holding it there, so I'd drive around the
Oh,
track like this.
I move the steering wheel when that happens because I do
Yeah.
that. I have
Well,
my
if the
thumbs like tucked on top on the right side and under it on the left side, so I'm almost like pulling on that. But then if my toe gets knocked out and it's that far and I'm still racing, I'll literally move my wheel.
Yeah, but
So
I like if the yellow comes out, I'll grab the shaft and spin it, But under green, I used to go down the back straight and be like this because brain couldn't tell my hands to let go and grab it again. So
yeah,
like, yeah. So with the Y, you get a little bit more play, but it's yeah, I have that little range where when your arm, there's like a comfortable spot where your arm hits, and then once you have to go past that, you're like, nope,
Not good.
Not any good. Yeah,
right.
I got a new to me race car about a month ago, and it's the guy I bought it from. He's a little older. I mean, not super old, late 50s, whatever. But he's got a big, like a 17-inch steering wheel on that thing. And I sat down, like I'm like, it's like driving a bus. Like I
right,
think I had a 15 on mine before, and my
yeah.
dad's like, nope, you're keeping that steering wheel. It's gonna teach you how to slow down on the wheel. And I'm like, I'll spend
Oh
80
heck
bucks and
no.
get a new steering wheel.
Yeah, dude, I've had the same steering wheel. I'm a steering wheel diva, mind you, but I've had the same steering wheel since I was 11 or 12 when I got my first micro sprint. And like I've driven midget at the Chili Bowl. It was with me on the plane. I drove, when I went to Pennsylvania to drive a late model for the first time, they had this brand new steering wheel in there. I'm like, let me try mine. You know what I mean? Put mine in there. Like I got one of those fancy MPIs when I bought a micro a long time ago, and I've used it a couple times, but I just can't. Like mine's a cheap,
Yep.
old, skinny, sweet wheel. It's like real skinny and it's completely flat. It's a midget wheel. That's what it's for. So like, back then in the midgets, they sit flat. So if it was too big, you're steering like this, it's already uncomfortable, So I just had the same 15-inch sweet wheel since I was literally like 12 years old. So I can't get rid of it.
I
Sentimental
like
to
my
you.
wheel a lot.
Yeah, right.
Right. So quick plans for 2026. I mean, you said a little bit you're gonna try to focus on your late model deal. Are you still gonna, I mean, try to race the modified too?
Yeah. No, I actually have some really awesome plans for next year. I'll try to sum it up really as fast as I can, but I'm gonna start the year off in Arizona and I'll run the Wild West Shootout. It's a USRA car with the dome car. I'll just put a 5-inch blade and adjust the body for the rules. And then I'll run those 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks or the next 2 weeks I'll run IMCA for the Winter Nationals at the same track. And then we plan on going to Florida for the Clash on the Coast with the IMCA. Peyton Taylor's race down there. I've wanted to support it every year it's been, but I haven't made it yet. So we're trying to do that. And then the rest of the year, late model is going to be the main focus. I'll run it every weekend if I can. But if there's a Friday where the late model's not running, I'll jump in the mod and go run Marshalltown as an IMCA car or something. But then if there's a big like that fall jamboree race you invited me to that I wish I could have gone to. And
I was
now if there's
trying.
something like that, yeah, now if there's something like that, I'll have an open car all year. So I can just,
Awesome.
pull it off the jacks and go race it. So I'm going to fill in every weekend as much as I can. This year I didn't get to race as much as I'd like because of the move and the new business. I got I think 60 total, but I normally get 80 plus. So this year was a little slow, and I didn't race the entire month of February. I thought I was going to jump off a bridge. So we're gonna fix that next year.
Good deal.
So,
And you
yeah.
had end of the year you had a win at Hawkeye Downs, right? Was
Yeah.
that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
dude.
Take us through that one.
So That's actually a really cool story. So I like I told you earlier, when my performer was junk. So I ran 3 nights in Tipton, 60 modifieds every night, made the show every night, but I was lap traffic. Literally got lapped 2 out of the 3 nights. And I'm like, the last night I pulled off when I saw the lap flag. I was like, I'm not doing this again. So I took it home. I'm like, nothing I do to this car is working. Like, it is junk all of a sudden. Like, I went from winning everything in this car to nothing. So I took it literally, I got home Saturday and Sunday night, Monday night. It was a bare frame. And I took it to my guy. And sure enough, it was all twisted up and stuff. So we got that fixed. Well, anyway, while they were fixing that, I had the dome car, the Victory Circle, just sitting there since the dome. I ran it one night in like January or July or something, and then it sat since then. So my dad's like, it didn't have a motor, tranny, seat, drivetrain. It had a rear end, front suspension, and some springs. Like, that's it. And didn't have a body on it. Had a deck on it. That's about it. Sail panels. And so my dad's like, we got 3 days if you want to race Friday at Hawkeye Downs. And I kid you not, Tuesday was when he told me we were racing, and Friday we raced. And I spent the next 2 days just nonstop putting engine in and putting seat in and blah, blah, blah. And while I was doing all that, my dad's under it, changing every corner on the car. He's on the phone with the magic man, the guy who does all our stuff in California. It's Chris Stevenson, and he's the genius behind Victory Circle. He's on the phone with him for 8 hours, roughly, all day, changing stuff, loads and springs and bar angles and lengths and steer and blah, 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 blah. And I roll out for hot laps, and I didn't like it. I go out for the heat race. I get second in the heat race, but I still didn't really like it. And so we changed 2 more things before the feature, and then I went out and freaking led every lap. And I was like, okay, like, you know what I mean?
Pretty
Like,
good.
So Victory Circle is not very known out here in the Midwest. You know, it's a California car. I won a bunch of races with it in California, but I only won a couple with it in Iowa. And, you know, Performer and Rage and Vanderbilt and Harris is big dogs out here, you know? So when I loaded it, I had some buddies text me like, you think the VC's going to dig? I was like, VC's going to dig, you know? And it was kind of, I mean, when I crossed the stripe, I was kind of like, no freaking way, dude. Like, it was just, me and my dad were so hyped. I got up and I almost put a hole through the roof when I punched it, because it's like a big deal, you know? It's Hawkeye Downs. They put dirt on it for the first time in like 20-something years, whatever. It's a pavement track that they paved. And so there's only 3 nights there, and I won one of them, and it's pretty special. You know, I didn't realize there's a lot of, I didn't realize how much prestige was around that place until I got to read about the history of it. You know, people were telling me about it. People I didn't know were congratulating me when I show up to a race the next week and like, hey, congrats on Hawkeye Downs. I was like, thanks, man. And then it really showed that it was a pretty big deal, especially for me after the year I had, you know, the 6 months dry spell of just second places and DNFs. And so I thought, you know, that's a pretty cool story to just pull the old VC out of the box, and VC was digging.
And that's gotta feel kind of good now going to Gateway, you know? It's like, it's the same car, right?
Yeah, no, and it's been lights out every time I've driven it after. I drove it a couple times. I got 5th in South Dakota with it, starting like 10th or 9th or whatever, which is pretty good for the stout field that was up there. And then I took it to Arizona and got second. I took the lead with 5 to go, and then I hit a hole, and the car died on a restart. So I got to second and then finished second because we only had 3 to go by then or whatever. And then the bad luck strikes again. I went to Casa Grande the next weekend where they hold Winter Nationals, and roll out for hot laps, the last car on track for hot laps, because we got there late because it's a 10-hour drive from where I was at. And I stuff it in the fence in hot laps. I hit some slime and just absolutely plugged the right front and bend the lower, the spindle, the hub, the rotor, the everything in the right front. And so we spent the next however long fixing all that, missed the heat race because they were running through the program. And I start dead last, 23rd out of 24 in the feature. And by lap 10, I'm in 6th. And then by lap 15, I'm in 4th, battling for 3rd. And it's a 30-lap race. So I still got 15 laps to go. And then by lap 20, my freaking fuel pump belt broke off. So, yeah, I didn't finish that race. And then the next weekend's the big duel in the desert at Mojave this year is 7,777 to win. And the first night I win the heat race, and I start 6th, and I pass up to 4th on the first lap. Homie runs over my right rear and pops it. So I pull off the track. Next night, leading the heat race again. Right rear blows again. What the heck? Take it off. The wheel's leaking. Same wheel from last night. So I fixed it. I checked it. It wasn't leaking earlier. Well, it's leaking now. So I fixed it, you know, put a new tire on, went out in the B main, start dead last in the B main, get up to a transfer, pops again. And so then I pull off, and I'm gonna throw this wheel in the trash can. So I'm never running that wheel again. And then it rains out the next day, and I have to head back to Iowa. So at least I know the car is. Yeah, the car is good. Fantastic. Yeah. So I think we'll have a piece at the dome. I'm praying.
Awesome. Is that Hawkeye Downs pretty comparable to the dome?
I
a
mean, it's
little bit,
probably the
or like,
closest thing in Iowa to
yeah.
compare to the. Well, no, I
Okay.
lied. I think Vinton's probably closer. It's small, but it's not as small, and
Yeah.
it kind of races like a circle. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, it was probably one of the coolest racetracks I've ever been to. I'm not glazing it, but I mean, it was amazing. Like there was nothing but good things said about that place, and like the wall in 3 and 4 was literally this tall because they ran out of, or they didn't have enough K rails to make it taller, but they wanted the banking to be decent, you know. And so the curb, I pushed the curb all the way to that wall, and then coming out of 4, I was literally like, if you would jump the cushion, you're jumping the wall and going over 2 K rails, like two tall K rails. So like you're probably gonna flip, you know what I mean? So like I won that race on the edge of disaster. I'll have to send you a video when we get out. It's like a little clip, and it's like the sketchiest thing, but it was the most fun. So it's relatively close, but it's just fast, so not too
Okay.
close.
It's
Yeah,
not many guys can say they've won a race at Hawkeye Downs, dirt guys. That's pretty cool.
that thank you. I think so too. You know, the prestige of it didn't hit me until a little bit later when I saw people posting about it. I was
Mhm.
like, I guess this, you know, because I didn't grow up here, so I didn't get to see the history of the place. It's been around for 100 years. This is their 100-year anniversary of a racetrack, which is crazy, and so it's pretty special. I was super grateful.
Very
Awesome.
cool.
Well, rock on,
Cool.
man. Like we said, episode 30, TM3, Troy Morris. Troy, plug your marketing sponsors, let people know where they can watch you next week in St. Louis. And yeah, we wish you a lot of luck, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on. But I gotta thank Troy Sandwiches in Waterloo, Iowa first. You know, new main sponsor. But no, actually, first and foremost, I gotta thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know, He's put His hand upon me these last couple of months and shown me some things. So even though it's been a tough year, I feel like He humbled me this year to get ready for next year. You know, we're gonna come out guns a blazing. So you know, all glory to God. And then I gotta thank Advanced Sign Contractors, Troy Morris Trucking, Stevenson Suspension, and the Magic Man. I gotta thank PM Marins, Hyperco Springs. Hyperco's a big partner of mine. I love them. Hyperco or bust. If you run anything else, you suck. I gotta thank Fast Chef Drivelines. I gotta thank Weir's Suspension. I'm wearing repping Weir's tonight. You know, only Weir's on the race car. Penske Shocks, Laser Chassis, Focus Shock Technologies out of Pennsylvania. You know, Bernhauser Race Components. Performance bodies. You know, I got a really lot. I got a lot of great people behind me. You got to thank my mom for putting up with all the shenanigans all year long. Grandparents for always watching, and then you can catch next week's Kubota O'Reilly Gateway Dirt Nationals on Flow Racing. And, you know, I'll have shirts for sale. I got some dumb shirts made up. I just made a website. I haven't launched it yet, but keep an eye out for my links. Follow me on social media. Troy Morris III on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, all of that. I'm gonna start posting some more content soon, so make sure you keep up with the TikTok. And make you know, you get to see the speed talk on the back of the dome real soon.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, best
Well,
of luck, man. We'll be rooting for you.
I appreciate you guys. Hopefully, I get to come up and visit and race around you guys some next year.
Yeah, it'd be awesome.
Love it.
Yeah,
I'll
heck
try
yeah,
and
man.
stop down. I'll be down there, so
Oh, heck
I'll try
yeah.
and stop down and actually introduce myself in person.
Yeah, no, I mean, we gotta take a picture of the car or
Oh, for sure.
behind the deck, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you everybody for watching.
Thank you,
Troy
guys.
Morris, you're one of a kind, man. Go win yourself some money down in St. Louis, and we'll talk again soon.
I'm gonna try. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.